Whenever Walt Disney goes anywhere in the world, he likes to bring back something for the park. And so when Walt was on location last year in Switzerland and saw the Matterhorn, he thought, say, that would make a nice souvenir for Disneyland.
Today, we're diving into the towering snow-capped peak of the Matterhorn Bobsleds at Disneyland. This thrilling classic attraction isn't just a roller coaster, it is a piece of history, a technological marvel, and a testament to Walt Disney's vision. But how did this 147-foot-tall Swiss summit end up in Disneyland? Grab your bobsleds, we're going for a ride through history. When Disneyland opened in 1955, there was no towering mountain on the horizon. Instead, the area now occupied by the Matterhorn was an empty mound of dirt left over from the park's construction. It was jokingly called Holiday Hill or Lookout Mountain. Adventurous couples would discover that this out-of-the-way location was a great place to turn into a lover's lane, so to speak. In 1956, a large tower would be built as part of a support for the Disneyland Skyway. Even after the Skyway was installed, Walt was looking for ways to transform this hill into an attraction. He spoke with Imagineer Admiral Joe Fowler about turning the hill into a toboggan ride with real snow. The logistics of using real snow in Southern California made that idea kinda impossible. In 1958, Walt took a family vacation to Switzerland where he visited the real Matterhorn in the Alps while filming the movie The Third Man on the Mountain. He was taken aback at the mountain's beauty and he grabbed a postcard of the mountain, sent it over to Imagineer Vic Green back in California with a message on the back that said, "Vic, build this, Walt." Inspired by the mountain's grandeur, the Imagineering team had a vision to recreate this famous peak in Disneyland and introduce a new type of attraction, one that the world had never seen before. Back in California, that team of Imagineers were tasked to make this dream a reality. Their goal? To replicate the iconic mountain, add a thrilling roller coaster, and do it in a way that stayed true to Disney's high standards of creativity and storytelling. Bob Gurr, who worked on other Disneyland classics such as Autotopia, the Monorail, and the Haunted Mansion, would be responsible for designing the track plan. During development, a few names were thrown around for the mountain, like Mount Disneyland, Fantasy Mountain, Echo Mountain, Sorcerer's Mountain, and Magic Mountain. Eventually, they decided on the Matterhorn as synergy between the attraction and the upcoming release of that Third Man on the Mountain film. One of the original ideas was to use the Wild Mouse style of coaster, which is made up of flat rails made of wood and featured wide turns. However, Bob Gurr would reach out to Arrow Development to create the first tubular steel coaster in the world. The tubular steel rails allowed for much smoother turns and drops than the traditional wooden coasters, and became a standard for roller coasters worldwide moving forward. The attraction's concept was revolutionary. Imagineers developed the mountain with two intertwining tracks, giving guests a choice on which side to ride. This helped manage the flow of visitors and provided a slightly different experience on each side. The bobsleds rely exclusively on gravity to propel them through the tracks after reaching the end of the lift hill, with air brakes placed throughout for safety. The splashdown pool at the end of the coaster acts as an exciting effect and a natural braking system for the ride vehicles. Both tracks reach the same max height of 80 feet and a top speed of 27 miles per hour. The Fantasyland track is slightly longer than Tomorrowland's. The original sleds were made up of single 4-passenger cars. Disney didn't cut any corners on theming either. The mountain stands at about 147 feet tall, and its realistic appearance is thanks to a technique called forced perspective. Larger details are placed lower on the bottom, while smaller details are higher up, making them seem taller than they actually are. The mountain would be built using a steel beam structure, enough wood to build over 300 homes, wire mesh, and concrete. The Matterhorn Bobsleds would officially open on June 14, 1959, as part of a massive expansion that also included the submarine voyage and the monorail. The attraction would cost Disney $1.5 million to complete. That is over $16 million in today's money. Along with the submarine voyage, the Matterhorn would become one of the first e-ticket attractions. The official location of the Matterhorn has been contested ever since. When it opened in 1959, it was considered part of Tomorrowland, but later it was listed as being part of Fantasyland. No matter how you may see it, it does geographically fit in both lands. Starting on opening day, The Sierra Club, a group of mountain climbers, would scale the mountain up to 8 times a day from 1959 until 1979.
Now, this mountain is the exact replica of the Matterhorn, and right about now they'd be at what height if they were in the real Matterhorn?
They would be a little over 14,000 feet, probably with about 500 feet to go.
Here they're 14 stories high, which is plenty scary. And now who's that going up the overhang?
I believe that is George Haar, one of the veteran climbers in the Sierra Club and a man who climbed the Matterhorn about 5 years ago from the Swiss side.
At one point, Mickey Mouse even made the climb. In order to pass time between the climbs, one of the enduring legends of the Matterhorn was created, the basketball court. It does exist. While it is not a full court, there is a basketball hoop up there in a break room high inside the mountain. It's real, and it might be the highest basketball hoop in all of Anaheim. The Matterhorn has undergone several updates over the years. The first major update was in 1978 when Disney introduced the famous abominable snowman, or Harold as he's affectionately known. This audio animatronic creature added a brand new layer of storytelling and suspense to the ride. There were 3 Yetis placed throughout the ride. The first one is visible from both tracks at the start, and the other 2 are seen only from each respective track. 2 of the Yeti animatronics actually are reused gorillas from the Jungle Cruise, which was going through its own refurbishments at that time. Imagineers also installed sound effects, icy caverns, and even snow projections to make the guests feel like they were truly navigating a snowy mountain. The sleds were updated to double 8-passenger cars. Since the tallest tower of the Skyway would be placed right in the spot where the Matterhorn would eventually be built, the tower would be demolished. The Skyway would end up passing right through the center of the mountain when it opened in 1959. Eventually, the Skyway would close on November 9th, 1994, and the holes in the Matterhorn would be filled in. As part of the refurbishment to fill in the Skyway holes, a tribute to Disney president Frank Wells was placed within the mountain. Wells had passed away earlier in 1994 in a helicopter crash after a skiing trip in Nevada. He had attempted to climb the highest peak on every continent, only missing Everest due to bad weather. He is honored with a crate labeled the Wells Expedition. Fast forward to 2012, the Matterhorn received another significant refurbishment. The track was smoothed out, and new bobsled vehicles were introduced to improve comfort and safety. Then in 2015, as part of Disneyland's 60th anniversary, Harold returned, but with a upgrade. A brand new animatronic featured glowing eyes, much more fluid movement, and sharper audio. No more fuzzy 1970s puppet vibes, Harold was now truly terrifying. The original Harold would be eventually found within the queue of the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout attraction across the way in Disney California Adventure. Brand new projection effects, icy caves, and updated sound make the Matterhorn feel fresh again while also staying true to its roots. But it's not just about the thrill. The Matterhorn bobsleds are woven into Disneyland's landscape. The mountain is visible from almost every corner of the park and has become an iconic part of the Disneyland skyline. During nighttime shows, Tinkerbell even flies from the peak, sprinkling pixie dust over the crowd. The Matterhorn isn't just a Disneyland attraction, it is a trend setter in the world of theme park design. From its groundbreaking use of a steel track to its intricate theming and storytelling, the Matterhorn set the stage for the modern roller coaster experience. Today, the Matterhorn bobsleds stand as a testament to Walt Disney's vision. It is a symbol of his commitment to innovation, storytelling, and creating an unforgettable experience. It was the first of its kind in the theme park world and led to other classic attractions like Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and even the Matterhorn's spiritual successor, Expedition Everest. Next time you see that iconic peak, remember that it is not just a mountain. It is a piece of history, a milestone in theme park technology, and a timeless piece of Disneyland magic. If you've ridden this historic coaster, let us know about your experience in the comments below. And if you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification to be notified when we post brand new videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a magical day.